Hey teacher friends, in this video I'm going to do the end of the year teacher tag. This was started by Darren N. Sorry Darren, I don't know how to say your last name, but this was started by Darren N. and I've enjoyed watching other teachers' videos as they share their reflections about the year, so I decided I would jump on the tag. In case we haven't met yet, my name is Natalie Priester. I'm a teacher and I make videos to help other teachers. Most of them have an emphasis on building relationships, books, especially teacher books, and blended learning. So I'm gonna get going with the questions. So I'm going to read each question and then give my response. There are 14 questions total, so here we go. Number 1, what grade do you teach and how long have you taught that grade? I'm currently teaching 7th and 8th grade on a loop, but it's only my 2nd year at this middle school. I taught middle school a long time ago, so it's my 3rd year teaching middle school. Most of my career has been spent teaching 9th and 10th graders in high school, so I'm still kind of new to this middle school thing. Question number 2, what adjective best describes you as a teacher? So I went round and round with this word. My boyfriend thinks it should be stubborn, by the way, which probably is true. My students would, I don't even know what they would say. That'd be a good question. But for me, I think my best answer is confident, because I'm confident my kids can do things. I'm confident that what I'm doing is a good idea. Like, I research it, I read about it, I try it, I make it. I'm like, this is gonna help you kids, you have to do that. And on the days when the kids feel like they can't do something, I push them and I'm like, you can, you can, you can. And I try to spread that confidence with my students. Question number 3, if your life as a teacher were made into a movie, who would star you? This is totally the easiest one for me, because I've been told I look like this actress a million times. I don't see it, but my goodness, when a movie comes out, people stop me in stores, and when they hear I'm a teacher, they freak out. It's Hilary Swank. Do you see it? I don't see it, but people do, especially if I like pull my hair up and I look all sporty. I totally hear Hilary Swank all day. In case you don't know who she is, she's the lead actor in Freedom Writers. It doesn't help that I also taught English 9 and 10 to at-risk youth for like 10 years, so I used to get called Miss G. I've heard it a million times, so that's an easy one. Question number 4, I'm gonna read it. Think of a lesson from this year that you feel especially proud of and what made it so special. Every year I think my favorite assignment is the Dia de los Muertos unit I do with my kids. This is like my 5th year doing it, but I really loved it this year because of the growth in my Yale kids. In a nutshell, we learn about Dia de los Muertos. My students research a loved one who's passed away, write a speech about that person, and then create a little cute it's like a diorama, but I called an altar in a shoebox for their person. And then we have a big showcase event where my kids all put their altars on display, stand behind them, and give their presentations. For my Yale kids, this is a huge deal, and I've had my kids for 2 years, and it's been amazing to see the growth. Like last year I had a few kids who made their altars and they would just stand there, or they were so afraid they didn't even make an altar, they completely sabotaged. This year, so many of my kids who last year hardly spoke in English, this year they rocked their presentations and I was so proud. Number 5, tell us about a student you're likely to remember forever. Now I've been teaching for a long time, so I know that the kids I remember are the ones that I've had to have many one-on-one conversations with. It's like the more time they spend in the doorway with me, the more they're gonna stick out in my mind. Do you hear that, my boys? I know you're watching my video. I'm gonna remember all of you. But on a really positive note, I've had a girl for 2 years in my class with my super newcomer kids, like kids who just moved here, and I haven't had a lot of adult support in that class. I don't speak Spanish or Vietnamese. My kids almost all speak Spanish, but one of my girls got thrown in that class. She's kind of a newcomer, but not really, and she has been my right hand. She translates for me, she helps me with things, she onboards the newcomers. Her name is Itzy, by the way. Itzy, I am so grateful for all of the work you've done, and other teachers, you know, there's like those kids that just help you. I don't think we appreciate them enough, and I don't think we know how. And I really hope that Itzy becomes a teacher because she's very gifted. Number 6, at this point in the year, how do you feel about the teaching profession? So it's the end of the year, and I get this like super big urge at the end of every year to for school to start again, because I start to beat myself up for the mistakes that I've made throughout the year, and they really show. Like the end of the year is the time where everything that I let slide, oh my God, it snowballs and it's driving me nuts. But I'm so grateful that in teaching we get the break and we get the time to reflect and to improve. Like every single year at the end of the year, I have all these plans for the next year, things I'm gonna stop doing, things I'm gonna start doing, areas of weakness that I wanna read about and learn more about. So I just feel like optimistic at this time of the year because I can do something better in the fall for my kids. I shouldn't say fall, we start in August. Number 7, how do you keep your job fun and amazing no matter how long you've been teaching? Now, I think I've been teaching longer than most of the teacher tubers out there, by the way. So that the kids are so magical and everything, That's great and that's good, but that's not enough to keep me going because I get bored. So to keep my job amazing, I keep reading, learning, researching, trying new things, and implementing those in my classroom. I feel like having this constant growth practice is the way that keeps me engaged in what I'm doing. When I was a brand new teacher, I thought, okay, cool, I'm gonna make something and I'm gonna work really hard this year and I'll use it next year. I've almost never used anything again the next year because by the time the next year comes, I have a better way of doing it. And that constant improvement, I feel like, is so good for my kids because every year I want to be a better and better and better teacher to my kids. So I keep it fun and amazing by trying to be an amazing teacher. Number 8, what is one thing that has surprised you the most since the year started? Well, my kids are now giants and they were tiny. No, that's not really it. It's actually the amount of growth that has occurred in my classroom. I'm new to teaching English learners and I'm so impressed at how much English some of my kids have learned in such a short period of time and how their confidence has grown and they're speaking and they're asking me for things instead of using kids or tools to translate. And that growth is just surprised me and motivated me to push them even further next year. Number 9, social media. Who are your favorite teacher tubers, teacher grammars, and teacher tweeters? So I use all 3 of these platforms. Currently, I'm loving the community on Instagram. I love the big ideas and the searchability of YouTube, and I love the information that kind of floats to the top on Twitter. Sometimes Twitter makes me mad though, because sometimes it can be like spitting into the wind, and it's kind of like people have to have a lot of followers on there in order for their messages to really spread. So Twitter, you're not my favorite right now. Shh. Anyways, okay, so my favorite people are these 3. On YouTube, I am loving Too Cool for Middle School. Megan shares a lot of things about restorative practices, and I've noticed we've kind of read the same books, and so I like hearing her opinion and learning about circles from someone else who's actually in a middle school classroom. On Instagram, I have an unknown person. This person only has, I'm looking, she only has 115 followers, but I love her Instagram account. I teach Read 180 right now, and I don't always feel inspired to do it, but this teacher totally inspires me. Her Instagram handle is Love and Read 180. I'll put it down below. And she doesn't share her name or anything. She's one of those teachers that's keeping it hidden, but her Instagram feed of her Read 180 classroom inspires me so much. In fact, as I get ready to make my classroom for next year, I'm totally gonna stalk her feed. So I'll put her link below. Discover her, she's awesome. Okay, on Twitter, my favorite Twitter person at the moment is actually Eric Kurtz. He shares a ton of resources about using Google tools. And I like Google tools, but I don't have the energy to stay up on everything that's super cutting edge and do it and try it and put in my lessons. I did that game, I'm over that. Right now I'm into the best, but I still want to know the new things. Eric shares the best things, and so it's kind of like he's giving me the cliff notes of everything new in Google. I'll put his handle down below too. Number 10, who would your dream teacher collaboration be with? Mine's a little bit bigger than a teacher. I would love to work with Sir Ken Robinson, and I want to do more than just have him come in and help me teach. I actually want to work with him, and I want to design 2 schools. One for my neighborhood that I can enroll my daughter in, and the second one, I want to go back to a school I used to work at. It's called Samba School Academy. It's a school for foster kids, and my heart's really still there. But I would love him to design a school that really supported those kids. So not just teaching, I want to build whole entire schools with Ken Robinson. Number 11, what is the last thing you took a picture of? Now, I'm a newbie teacher tuber, so I'm recording on my phone. So I'm going to show you on my Google Photos. It actually makes it bigger anyways. That's my daughter in her stroller. We went for a walk this morning. See her cute little Memorial Day hat and her little bear? So cute. Anyways, I took that because I want to remember that view, because when I'm on my walk, I'm looking up, but I also look down at her so much, and I'm enjoying my time with her a lot and looking forward to more walks during the summer. Total sappy mom stuff. Number 12, what is the last song you listened to? This one's also total mom life. It was Old MacDonald Had a Farm. My daughter has this green puppy thing that she pushes its feet and it plays music, and she fast forwards that song because she just learned how to go woof woof at the woof woof time. So lots of little kid songs in my house. Number 13, complete this sentence. If I weren't a teacher, I would be a summer camp director. I love my years I spent working at a resident camp for Girl Scouts in San Diego. I talk about it in all my videos. And I would love to open my own camp and run a camp. That's where my heart is, and I'm always trying to infuse my classroom with that camp culture. By the way, I am working on a secret project to maybe make some of this stuff. Stay tuned. If you're interested, subscribe and follow my Insta feed because hopefully one day I'll get there. Number 14, who is your teacher hero? Tell them one thing you really appreciate about them. Okay, I'm going back to my family on this one too, but I totally have a teacher household, so that's allowed. Mine would be my boyfriend, Nishanta Unantene. He teaches science at the same school as me, and he is a 7th grade magician. I'm new to middle school, and I struggle sometimes to get them like all engaged and behaving, but his class, whole period, they are learning, they're engaged, they like him, they're laughing, they're working, they're even totally on task on their Chromebooks. I don't know how he does it, so I super admire his 7th grade whisper skills. By the way, he also has a YouTube channel, so I'll put that down below. It's really good. It's about ADHD and dyslexia and learning and everything else super nerdy and sciencey. And that's all of the questions. If you are a teacher, even if you're not a teacher tuber yet, you should make a video and answer all of these questions. I challenge you, every single one of you. Anybody else who's watching, I normally do like a comment after each video. So for this comment, just pick one question. You can write your answer down below. Thank you so much for watching, teacher friends. If you like this video, give it a like. If you want to see more, hit subscribe, hit the bell to get notifications. If you love this video, please share it with your teacher friends. Speaking of friends, we should be friends. My social media links are below. I'm the most active on Instagram. Okay, bye teachers. English learners for, oh, my parents are here. Lassie,
What's he gonna do with all those rocks?
you can go out there and hang out with them, Dad.
What's he gonna do with all those rocks?
We don't know yet. He'll come downstairs in a minute. He's letting me finish. You can hang out with Lassie. It'll keep her quiet. Oh, it's still recording.